I edited a little bit in at the end of the like a little outtake in at the end of the Dave interview.
What did you include?
It's just you at the end going, "Oh, I'm terrible at these things." Oh well, and then it just ends like that.
Oh, thanks, man.
It's like after the outro music though, so.
Okay, so no one will actually hear it. That's fun.
Yeah,
that's fun.
People stick about, and then they get a little bonus for sticking about.
Oh, now you're just putting extra content in for this podcast about the This is like Easter eggs, but they're like backdated.
Yeah. No one hears.
All right, well, that was a good enough intro.
Let me just prepare my beautiful voice.
Prepare? What do you mean?
La 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 la.
Yeah, gotta go the high and low notes,
in.
you know. Yeah.
You gotta do how now brown cow. How now brown cow.
How now brown cow. Oh now brown cow.
Or you gotta say unique New York. Unique New York. That's a hard one. Right, that was good. Welcome to the podcast. My name is It's Your Boy Dom, the producer. Eric's not here. He didn't realize we were recording a podcast. He's off gallivanting. But we've got the English cohort of Ryan, aka. All right, never mind. We've got Ryan, the manager.
Hello.
And it's Guy again. It's me and Guy, aka FMVars.
The gruesome twosome.
Oh, that sounds dirty. I quite like that. Yeah, this week we've already done we interviewed Dave earlier in the week. It was quite good fun, actually. I quite enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was.
But we're actually trying to get ahead of the game, and we're gonna record some stuff. And this isn't going to go in the podcast. This is definitely not going in the podcast. So I'm just setting myself up.
Yeah, it might do. You never know.
Oh, I was really pumped.
Really? Oh, okay, right. Well, so basically, we're talking about, because at this time of year, it's really a bit of a nightmare for carrying on playing Football Manager, because we're all getting a bit bored. It's all a bit dragging. So we're talking about ways to keep it interesting, and also because one of our writers did a piece on that exact topic, Sam, who's been on the podcast once. So are you guys playing much FM at the moment?
Well, I haven't been recently, to be fair. I've started I'm still on my Moneyball save, and I've started my third season. Well, I did start my third season at Palace. And I don't know, I've just sort of fallen out of playing it, really. Been playing other games and stuff over the off season.
Mm.
So I just decided to go on.
Do you feel that because of the way the Palace situation is going, it sort of changed it, or do you think it's the way that your Moneyball's going that sort of lost interest, or do you just think it's because everyone's really just anticipating the new release of Football Manager?
I think it's a bit of everything, to be honest. It's partially the fact that it feels like I've got to play it a certain way because of the articles and stuff. Like, I can't just have fun with it and sort of play it. I've got to play. It almost feels like it's that balance between whether it's just playing for the fun of it or playing to produce content kind of thing. So it's that. Plus, it's the fact that the football season was over, so I hadn't been playing it much. Whereas I picked it back up the other day, so I've started playing a bit again. But I holidayed for a season. I was like, I'll holiday till January and see what happens. And I went to do the dishes and put a wash on, whatever. I came back up and it was available jobs here. And I was like, oh, that's not good. And I'd been sacked. And I was like, so I've got saves from when I'm still at Palace. So I think I might continue that. I'm not sure. But I managed to get the Atalanta job in Italy. And that's just really sparked the save back into life. And I'm sort of taking charge there. They've got Europa League football, but they finished they were 18th when I took over in December. So
okay,
yeah. So that's sort of revived the save a bit for me, really.
Are you keeping that Moneyball sort of system through, or you sort of just stayed away from it a little bit and just more playing for the sort of pure fun of it? Because Atalanta are a little bit different in terms of Palace. They're both not expected to do amazing things, but they're both very vastly different ones in the Serie A. So
yeah, definitely. I don't know. I haven't really made my mind up yet. Like I say, I only played it for I think it was yesterday. I was playing for quite a bit, so I haven't really decided what I want to do with the save yet. Really, whether it's going to be a youth development thing or what, I don't know. But I'll wait and see.
Ryan, what about you?
Well, the article that's just gone out on Monday, which would have been my article. It's actually a Football Manager prediction of the Premier League. So I downloaded like an updated database, which has got like the whole of the last season's players. So technically, it's like playing Football Manager 20, but without like the new game, essentially. And I did like a predictions on that, and it's interesting, really. But I feel like if you want to try and like keep it interesting, you'd rather play with like the updated database where you've got all the promotions, relegations, all the transfers. Otherwise, you're playing with like all this new season's come round, and you sort of all these players you see on the telly are like not at the club. Whereas with a new database, it sort of just freshens things up a bit. Especially like if you want a bit of a challenge as well. Like Chelsea, for example, they didn't do very well on the simulation, but that's partly down to their transfer embargo. So I think using a database is probably the best way to go, in my opinion, to sort of play. Because I'm thinking of just doing an Everton one just to take me over till the new game comes out, because we've had a really good summer in terms of transfers. However, the only issue there is Keane doesn't seem to be like the best striker at the club, which is weird. But I feel like he's going to get an upgrade anyway because he's one of Italy's hottest prospects.
Yeah, so, and he's done quite a lot this season as well, hasn't he, Kane, with like the goals that he got in the Champions League and stuff.
Yeah, well, his overall game is good, but it's just the fact that you're almost going to be overshadowed by the likes of Dybala, Ronaldo, and all the new signs they've signed. So I feel like it's a good move for him, but also it makes my Football Manager a little bit more exciting because I don't have to use him on the ass every game.
Are you sure you don't want to use him? Are you sure?
Yeah, I think if I do start a new save with Everton, it will be my priority to offload him at any sort of fee. I'll drive him there, anything.
That would be an interesting animation system for the new Football Manager. It's like literally like kicking players out of the clubs and stuff.
That's something I was trying to do. I was trying to start loads of different new saves, like, I want to try this tactic out for next year and all of this. And I was just getting bored after like pre-season, just because.
Yeah, you spend so much time doing it, and then when it comes to like, your first game, you get destroyed, and it's like, oh, I've just spent 3-4 hours trying to bring in all these right players, and then all of a sudden you play in the cup game or something against a team that you've never heard of, and you get destroyed. So it's like
there's something about like players being at the wrong clubs as well, and it just makes me go like, oh, he shouldn't be there. He's already moved to this club. And stuff.
That's what I said about the database.
It's just in that way,
it's very, very good to use. Because it starts in the 2019 start of the season as well, so you actually skip a year as well.
Yeah.
So
that's quite good.
Yeah,
that is good. Yeah.
All the links are on the my article where I got it from. Originally from FM Scout, and then it was.
Oh, are you mentioning other content producers?
Yeah, I like FM Scout.
What? How dare you? We are. I swear, like this is the most hostile.
Are we making our own databases?
No. Well, who's gonna use them?
Exactly.
There's no point.
Advertise other people's in that.
Yeah. I've actually, that is one thing that I do like about Football Manager, is that we've got a really weird community in the sense that most of our players are, rain men for playing Football Manager. They play it for thousands and thousands of hours every year. But actually the community is like really nice. And I feel like it's not very competitive for producing content. I feel like everyone kind of likes each other, and it's very nice in sharing lots of other people's content and things.
Yeah, it's not toxic. You don't see people saying that they're going to do terrible things to your mother after you score a goal in the 90th minute against them.
Well, I mean,
not yet. Anyway, we'll see the FM Cup.
We'll see what happens. We're speaking of the FM Cup. That article is supposed to be going out on Friday. Now we've played the second set of games, but we were thinking about whether we play the third set of games this week or we don't, because obviously we want to kind of speed it up a little bit. It's been 3 weeks since we uploaded the last article. So what do you guys reckon? Do you reckon we play the last set of games this week?
Yeah.
And then upload on Friday?
Yep.
And then put all eight into the one article? That'd be quite a chunky article. But yeah. Do you like them big and like them chunky?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you've got Luke. Is that right, Ryan? You're playing Luke.
Yeah, which I think will be is it Luke?
Yeah. You've got Luke because it's you, me, Ben, and Luke, isn't it? The group.
Mm-hmm.
How you feeling? It's quite an easy game. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not sure because my team lack depth in midfield. I feel like my front men are good. My defense is good, but I don't have a carrier who will interlink the two together, the defensive midfield to the midfield and strikers.
You've got Busquets and Rodriguez and Rakitic. I think that's quite good.
Yeah, but not compared to some of the other players that you've all got. But that's probably my weak spot in my team. But that's not too much of a concern.
Fair enough. And then I'm playing Ben, which, I mean, you played Ben last week and got absolutely trounced. Didn't you, Ryan?
Wasn't me playing, was it? It was my cat.
What?
Don't have a cat, but he was playing. I can assure you that.
Oh, okay. Okay. Any tips for playing against Ben, or just hope for the best?
Yeah, pray.
Okay.
7 days before the game, I hope for the best.
Okay. All right. Thanks for the heads up. If you didn't know, Ben won 4-2 against Ryan last week, and then beat Luke 3-2 the week before. And Mbappe's got 4 goals in 2 games. So
yes, his front three is very frightening.
Oh God, yeah.
Mane, Mbappe, and who's
Messi. You heard of him?
No, not heard of him.
Okay. He's quite new, to be fair. He's not. He's quite new on the game. But yeah,
I'll have to check him out in the next year.
Yeah.
He's a good sort of player.
Yeah, I feel like it's a bit jammy that he chose M. I feel like that was a bit. Yeah. If he wins, I'm going to blame it on the fact that he just chose his alphabet. Because he's got M and I, but he's only got one I. Oh no, 3 I's. He's got Icardi, Insigne, and Isco, and the rest are all M's. That's a joke. And then who are you playing, Guy?
I've got Sam next.
Okay.
Yeah.
He beat Eric, but then lost to Pelham.
Me and Pelham on 4 points, and then Sam's on 3.
So. Is Eric the only person who hasn't won a game yet?
Eric's on.
Luke hasn't won a game.
He hasn't even got a point yet.
Yeah, neither's Luke. Yeah. But Luke's got worse goal difference because I beat him 3-1.
Yeah, that game that me and Guy watched was fantastic.
I thought it was like a 45-minute game, wasn't it?
It was crazy.
There was a lot going on.
I had that much adrenaline for a game that I was not involved in any way, shape, or form. I was on the edge. I thought I was going to fly from the screen at one point. I was like, "Oh my god!" The tactics changed every 5 seconds. There were shots everywhere. There was open. It was crazy.
If you haven't seen that video, it's on Twitch. I didn't upload it to YouTube because it was a bit janky, but I put the highlights on Twitch and they were very funny. I screamed a lot.
Yeah, my ears are still recovering.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. So we got Pelham is top of Group A with 4 points, and then Guy is second, but with also 4 points, but 2 goal difference behind. And then Sam is third with 3 points, and then Eric's got none. And then in Group B, Ben's top with 6. Me and Ryan are second and third, but Ryan's ahead on goals scored, not even goal difference.
Oh.
So if you lose, you need to beat Luke basically, and then hope that I beat Ben by less, or
hope that. I know it's going to happen.
Or if you draw with Luke, I need to beat Ben. So it's looking quite difficult. So it looks like I'm going to be playing Guy in the next round, and it looks like you're going to be playing Sam, Ryan.
We shall see.
Oh, it's pretty intense though, but I'm quite enjoying this. That's one other thing that's keeping my interest in FM is this cup. Actually, I'm quite enjoying the kind of competition between us all.
I almost feel like if you sort of put your own sort of challenges in as well, like playing with other people, even though the game is mainly targeted for like a single player, it is good to sort of do these like cups and stuff. And just because it's a bit fresh and it's not something that you wake up and think, all right, I'm going to get everyone on at the same time to do it. It's sort of all a bit staggered, but it's working.
Yeah, I'm quite enjoying it. Well, Guy, we were talking just before we interviewed Dave. Actually, we were talking about how he's playing a multiplayer save with. Is it 4 of you, Guy?
Yeah, there's 4 of us all together. Yeah, that's. I mean, we get on pretty much every other night for that. Like we're still well into that. I'm playing 18 more than I am 19 at the minute, so that kind of shows you how that can impact your. You know, it's always more fun when you play it with other people, isn't it? And you can share,
especially
stuff. So
more accomplishments feel a bit more fulfilling, especially when you're
definitely
sort of competing with other people.
Especially when I'm 5th with Newcastle and they're in League One with Fleetwood still. It makes me feel good about my.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
The only thing that is a problem is trying to get everyone at the same time, because Football Manager is a very sort of. Like, you can't just, like, press continue or pick up a controller and just hope for the best. You've sort of
it's very time consuming, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. That's why I use the touch a lot for my sort of online saves, because some of the features are just so much easier to just function with, especially like you hire an assistant manager and basically the whole coaching staff is covered through the assistant manager. So you sort of it takes a lot of the main core out of the game, but it saves a lot of time, and it's still Football Manager at the end of the day. You don't really lose anything from it. It's obviously streamlined and runs a lot quicker and smoother, but you can fly through it even with putting the time in.
What's the main difference then between touch and sort of the?
I think
the full
touch
game?
is sort of aimed at more high-end tablets rather than computers. So if you've got a computer that's good and capable, it's easier because you sort of it takes a lot of the like you don't have the like full press conferences every 5 seconds. You don't have like halftime team talks. You can instant result if you want. I think your under 21s and under 18s are merged into like a reserves. You are sort of some of the leagues like the MLS doesn't have like the the rules and regulations and that. It's a lot more streamlined in terms of that. So you've sort of less limitations, and obviously with like a youth intake, instead of getting like a full under 18s, you get like 4 or 5 players, and they're usually the best of what would be from the full game. And obviously there's less sort of menus and that, and it just runs quicker, and you can get through a lot more through it, and it's less like engaging of players and stuff, which is a shame. But you've got to remember the game is sort of targeted for high-end laptops, high-end sort of tablets. So you're not going to have all this like processing power. So I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Especially if you want to do like an unemployed save or something, it's very, very good for that.
I feel like going back to the whole multiplayer thing, I feel like people play a lot of different speeds as well. Like I'm very lazy when it comes to playing online saves. Like I'll just basically continue through most things and set up a tactic on the day and kind of hope for the best. Whereas I think people like Ben, for example, will spend a lot more time scouring teams and planning tactics and all this. And I just couldn't do it. I'll do that on my own save, but I'll just kind of be a bit like, oh, come on, mate. Come on.
That's the thing, you're sort of waiting for it.
2 hours the other night, and my friend's just got a new job, and he spent 2 hours literally sorting out his team. I think we continued like 3 times, and that was it. God. The rest of the time he was just like sorting out, looking at every single player individually, looking at attributes.
Could you not just leave the save on?
Play. Yeah, well, we were playing. I think we played a game. I was just playing Minecraft.
Yeah, I was going to say you can play something in the background.
Yeah.
Speaking of Minecraft, so right, no, this is completely off topic. But no, I was playing Minecraft last night actually as well. That's weird. It's coming back. I was playing. There's a custom map I found, right? And you start in a 25 by 25 grid, and every couple of every 0.1 seconds, whatever, a block falls from the sky, and it's a random block.
All right.
And it's just like it constantly happens for the entire thing, up to the height limit until eventually you fill up the entire map. And you just have to, survive and do all these challenges and stuff. Very, very good fun. Very hard, but very good fun.
Sounds like Tetris.
Yeah, it's like Tetris, but 3D, and you're in the map, and you can get hit by blocks and die.
Sounds mental.
Yeah, it's good fun. But yeah, big up Minecraft.
In terms of, because the new Football Manager will be coming out, and we expect to see an announcement towards the back end of August.
Yep.
Yeah.
What sort of things are you sort of hoping for? Just like summary, really.
What new features or
What I feel like, what can they change to make the game better?
I feel like just more of the same, really. I mean, like they've done so much from 18 to 19 in terms of like the training overhaul, and
do you think people use that though?
I do.
I use it a little bit, to be fair, but that's only because I've looked into it.
It's the assistant, unless I'm sort of really embedded into the save, because I feel like if I put all this like training procedure in place and I'm only there for like maybe 6 months, I feel like the effects wouldn't be as sort of long lasting as if I was there from like 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Because like I remember writing an article about my youth like academy structure and how I got my players like sort of like in a conveyor belt sort of system, like get them in and train them. That's sort of the only time I'd do it, because I was at the club for like 8 or 9 years. But if I'm there like a journeyman, I'm going to try and like progress and move on, I sort of just leave it to your system, because I feel like if I can play more games and the short-term like effects of training, I don't think outweigh the long-term effects of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, so I think I spend quite a bit of time on, well, not that much time, but depending on who the team we're playing are, I'll adjust my training schedule a bit. And then like the tactical overhaul with sort of the transition phase that they've added and stuff. I think like where the game's at now is pretty good. I guess they can always improve the match engine.
Yeah, because every time I go on Facebook, Twitter, or Reddit, there's always a clip of a goalkeeper just throwing a ball to the striker every single day.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you, Dan?
Yeah.
What about me? What do you think? What? What do you want me to improve?
FM20, yeah.
Oh, well, I did an article on this. I don't know. Did I put it up on the news site? I think I did, actually. It was an article about like the features we'd like to see, and I said women's football, but that wasn't very likely. I'll just say what I always say: halftime team talks, not in touch, but in normal games. Basically, halftime team talks, they're just one sentence and then they react. It's so little in terms of detail, and I feel like that.
What would you change about that?
So what I'd do is, instead of it having like a kind of, you say one thing, they respond, yes or no, basically.
More of a conversation.
Have an assistant manager that will give proper advice. If you're losing or you're struggling, say why your tactics. Say give you better advice on how your tactics failing.
Wouldn't that be more down to a data analyst, though?
Oh, all right. Data analyst could do it. I don't mind. Anyway. Well, the assistant manager can report back anyway. Or maybe the captain can come back and kind of rally the troops if he's got good leadership skills or whatever. Or, they can even suggest changes. Or if a player's not feeling very confident, they can say, look, mate, I'm not feeling very good. Can you sub me off? Or a player on the bench might be saying, you need to bring me on, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I feel like there could be a bit more there regarding the team talks.
Definitely. It's a game changer, really, isn't it? Your halftime team. 1-0 down or drawing.
Yeah.
You've got to have the right mentality to go into the second half. Because remember that 15-minute break, you're sort of restarting from scratch. It's like you're either fired up or your confidence is low, and that can have a massive effect, especially when you're playing other teams.
It'd be good to have players come to you as well at halftime and say, maybe there's a striker who's wanting more first team football or something, and he's talked to you about that earlier on, and then he's on the bench for this game and he comes to you and he's like, I'm itching to get on, get me on a halftime sort of thing. Then that could maybe influence your substitutions and stuff. I think that would be really interesting to have a bit more sort of in that sense. Yeah.
Also, as another thing, I think that having, especially for this time of year, I think they should do a community challenge style thing. So what happens is that players will upload a challenge where you choose a team or a list of teams that you can choose from, and you have to achieve a certain goal in a certain period of time.
Yeah, I've always wanted stuff like this. Even so, like FIFA and stuff, I've always wanted stuff like that. So maybe I don't know. One I remember a lot is like when Chelsea were down in 15th under Mourinho, I think it was.
Yeah,
his third season, and then all right, you take over at this date. These are your results, and then you need to get them to try and
finished fourth or whatever. Yeah,
I remember that
would be really fun.
Years ago, I think it was on the PSP used to do that, and it was like you're 2-1 down. It was like actual games.
Yes, I remember that.
It was like you start off with a free kick.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but I feel like that would be quite a nice way to also, follow through into the summer, and because you guys are talking about Football Manager coming out soon, but it's coming out in November.
Yeah, but the announcement,
but it's
imminent.
Yes, but it's coming out in November 8th, between November 1st and November 8th. That's like another 3 months, guys, or 2.5 months.
Yeah, but they almost have the beta.
Yeah, but I'm saying we've still got a long way to go. Like I'm saying that we're getting to the point where we're bored of Football Manager 19 now, and we've still got another 2.5 months of Football Managers play. Like we shouldn't be getting burnt out at this stage. We should being burnt out in September.
This always the case, though, especially when the new season starts, because everyone's like, new season, want fresh things.
Yeah, true.
Some is always that, and most people's summer holidays are consumed to playing Football Manager, and it does get to the point where you're like, you have achieved everything you possibly could.
Yeah,
so you
definitely.
Just want the new challenges, a new face of the game and stuff.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I feel like other than that, I'd be pretty happy with basically the same thing. Bit of a reskin, maybe improved match engine. The normal stuff they kind of change. Maybe
definitely.
The other thing I'd quite like to see is a better social feed, because I feel like whenever there's a result, regardless of what happens, there is a neutral response, good response, bad response to every single thing. It's, oh, you signed Messi on a free. Oh, he's not that good anyway. It's like, well, what are you talking about? Or it wasn't worth the money, or like, stop talking. It's purely just a yes, no, maybe kind of response system, and I feel like it could be definitely improved.
It's not something I pay much attention to.
No,
but maybe it's because it's not. It's so pointless. That's why I don't pay attention to it.
In terms of what features I'd feel like fans' interaction would be a lot better, because you realize that a lot, like basically every club survives because of their fans. And all you get is the fans are disappointed with the signing. There's no real what direction the fans want the club to go or anything like that. There's no sort of, like in real life, you have all these like community forums, or you have like these these days where they like not open trials, like an open day or anything like that, and it just there's no actual interaction between the fans and the sort of manager or the core of the club, because you've got like in Newcastle, where at the moment I know a lot of the fans are boycotting because of their owners. It would be good to see sort of different scenarios sort of happen, because in the moment it's all plain sailing. You just got to manage your finances, and that's about it. There's no real like differentiation between like off the field and on the field. It's all just all one thing.
Cool.
Oh.
No, that's all right. Well, I think we all just came to quite a nice. Oh, do you want me to? What do you want me to talk about?
I don't know. I just thought you would come in there. I don't know. I was just waiting.
I'm not very good at this whole hosting thing.
You sound very far away. Have you?
No, I'm still nearby.
We'll definitely have to edit that part out.
Oh.
Hello?
That's better.
Oh, my one of my headphone jacks fell out. Yeah. So that's good. We can just edit all that out, and then we can just kind of carry on.
Yeah. Just edit that whole half an hour out.
Yeah, the whole.
Done.
Wait, how long have we done? Is it half an hour? No, we've done like
Minecraft, and then that'll be it.
Oh, mate, I just love Minecraft. Okay, so this week, each talk about personal things they've done this year or previously. Is that just Football Manager, or is that
no one's commenting on
keeping saves interesting?
Oh, keeping saves interesting. Oh, okay. I thought you meant as in like what have I achieved this year?
On the on-field thing, right?
Yeah. Then Nonny has spoken, then Dom was in a different room, and then
different planet. How do you think they would sort of implement that? How do you think that they would go?
I don't know. It's weird, because I feel like if there was like, when you get like you start a job and you've got like it's just meet the journalist or something. It would be good to like meet the fans or something, and then you can have like a sort of press conference in that way, and then like when you go on like the board, and then it's like you got the fans, and all it says is the fans.
Yeah,
like,
I see what you mean.
Percentage of happiness for signing a player. There's no sort of. There's no sort of interaction there, because the fans are the core of the club, and if things aren't really right on the pitch, or you can see that they're trying, then the fans get behind you, or I feel like the atmosphere could affect, because at the end of the day, if you're playing and your stadium's empty or there's no atmosphere, your players aren't going to be pumped up for it. But if your team are like really like busting a gut, then you want the fans, and because I think the atmosphere would change the way your team would play. If you got like 20,000 fans like rallying up your team as opposed to 5 people, I feel like it's going to make a big difference.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting side of it. I think if you could like have, I don't know, like fan groups coming in and saying like, "Oh, we're not happy with the type of football you're playing, or like this player that you signed, or whatever." Like that would, because you get, like you say, you have the board interaction, you have the press interaction. You don't have much interaction with the actual fans.
And that's the football clubs are built from fans.
Yeah,
they're the ones who turn up every week, home away.
Yeah, I think that'd be really interesting.
Yeah, I feel like also, especially when you're trying to climb from lower leagues up, the best way to do that is to have good fan bases, and to do that is to that's definitely the way to start building finances and whatnot.
Your fan base grows at the end of the day. If you're coming from the bottom, trying to get to the top, your fan base is always going to grow, and I feel like that's key. It should make a difference, rather than going into a game every game and say if you're playing at home, it doesn't really matter, because there's not really any sort of influence behind that.
Cool. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty nicely wrapped up. Question mark. Do we want anything else to talk about? Ryan?
No.
Anything else? Any news on the website? Oh, do you want to tell everyone about the old team we've just set up? The people we've just got involved with? Or...
Oh yes, I can actually, because
you could just
even though it's very, very early days, we are creating a media team. We don't fully know the direction it's going to go at the moment, as we're trying to just bring in the right people, the right minds, and then the right set of skills for what we want to try and do. But it's also about what people want to do. So we've got Laura, who created Azerbaijan, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, the Football Manager country actually. And she does a lot of face packs for like regions.
Chilled Moose on Twitter, isn't she?
Yeah. She's very, very talented, and she messaged us, and we're getting some designs at the moment. I can't say what, probably out by the time I've said this, but and then we also have a guy called Michael who's just doing a couple of designs, but we're looking to get a couple more people in just to sort of see where we can take it and try and up our sort of podcast side of things, or YouTube, sort of our graphics and thumbnails, our articles in terms of how they aesthetically look as well as how they read. So it's definitely an interesting time to dictate the game. The website's going well, opening like a different department within our core team. So it's quite fun.
Is there anything that you're looking to do for the YouTube in particular, or have you got anything that maybe do you want to turn some articles into videos regarding tactics and things like that?
Yes. So we're going to try if we can sort of think of the way how to balance the written format into a video format. Try and create some of the guides and sort of tactics and tips and sort of articles, and sort of create videos from them. So sort of like if you're say for example, if we have a tactic set up and it's like, oh, this tactic's so good, show like footage and like a video motion of how the tactic works and how it sort of you can break up opposition down and how your team sort of sets up and different things like that at the moment. But it's all very, very early in the days, and we're obviously not just going to rush into it or just throw everything at it and just hope for the best. We're going to try and create a proper plan so we sort of have something to backfall on if it doesn't all go plain sailing. I think that pretty much summarizes up what it will be.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of cool stuff happening behind the scenes, and I feel like it's going to really help with the actual quality of some of the images and the content. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, actually. The two people we've brought in so far look to be really kind of keen and excited to do it. And if we can get maybe one or two more in, anyone listening likes to, make
slide
stuff
in the DMs.
Yes, just message us on Twitter at Dictate the Game, and we'll be in touch. But if you guys like producing, creative content and you like Football Manager, then definitely would love it. Who's Everton playing today?
We are playing Wolves at home.
Are you? You're playing Watford.
Yeah, sorry, Watford. Yeah.
Hey, sorry. Can I just point out that he's made that mistake as well? Because when we interviewed Dave at the very start, I thought he was a Watford fan instead of a Wolves fan.
Oh wow! Not even.
And I said, "Oh, Dave, this he works for Watford as a researcher," and he was like, "It's Wolves, mate." I was like, "Oh, like literally at the very start, I was so embarrassed." But okay. So, do you think you're gonna win?
Well, the game would have technically already happened by now.
All right.
So make a prediction, and then it definitely won't come back to bite you.
Yeah. So
2-0 Everton.
2-0 Everton.
Richarlison or Iwobi.
All right. What about Newcastle?
We're going to get beat off Norwich.
Oh, yeah, it's away, isn't it?
Away at Norwich, yeah. They looked a lot better against Liverpool than we looked against Arsenal. So I think Norwich probably win it 2-0. Team up and someone else, probably.
Probably him twice. Or Kenny?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
For anyone who cares, Yeovil Town are playing Barrow in the National League. Yeah, away. And it's probably about an 8, 9 hour, 10 hour drive up. So I hope they got a plane, but we'll see. They're going to get absolutely trounced, I think. even though Yeovil are Yeovil. Oh, we're 7th in the league. Wow, never mind. But then we are in National League.
Barrow aren't very good. You should beat Barrow.
Yeah, but we're not very good, mate.
Yeah, but you've just been relegated, haven't you?
Yeah, and last time we got relegated, we got back-to-back relegations.
Yeah.
So
Barrow have not won.
Oh, they're not won yet.
July.
Okay, right. I'm feeling slightly more confident now.
So,
yeah.
20th.
Cool. And I think we'll win 4-0. There you go. Completely changed my predictions.
Very positive.
Yeah. Cool. Right. How do you want to leave this? Do you want to just cut it off here?
Just say thanks for listening and all that.
All right. Yep. Thanks. So yeah, thanks for listening, guys. If you liked, please like and I don't know, subscribe or whatever this goes on. This will be on probably YouTube and maybe something else. I don't know. But yeah, if you guys liked it, let us know. Put some comments down in the comment box thing. And I'm awful at this, and I'm going to let Ryan finish off.
Luke hasn't got anything to say.